What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Dawn Halfkenny, and I am here live at 925 Atlanta. Y'all know it as T.I.'s Hot Spot. I have a nice book here. Y'all see it? All access. Omar Tyree. We have some great people here. I can't wait to interview them. All right, everyone. It's the man here himself, Mr. Omar Tyree. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. I feel blessed. I feel blessed. Everybody come out tonight and have a good time at the All Access Spice of Fame tour right here in Atlanta, starting off at T.I. Scales 925 Restaurant. Everybody that's here, it's a blessing for you to come here, and I'm just going to bring this whole tour, 26 cities. It's really going to be 40 cities by the time we get to Christmas. So I'm just feeling blessed right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, now you know people want to know a little bit about your book. Yeah. So are you going to tell them a little bit about your book, or like what do you want people to know?
Well, we're in Atlanta. The book is based in Atlanta, and it's all about this whole reality TV thing, the social media thing, and how much people are giving up of their personal lives and their private lives. And so a lot of stuff they're doing, I'm like, whoa, would I do that? Would I really go out to that capacity? And so I wrote a book about a woman who's a broadcast journalist, who's a major, and she actually has, professional journalism. And she starts interviewing a dude, who's always getting in trouble, sort of like a Chris Brown character. That's always in trouble. And then he tells her, look, to really understand my life, you need to come around some of my events and hang around me so you can see how much nonsense starts that I'm not a part of. And so he basically gives her an all-access invitation to his life, and she doesn't want to do it, but her job is like, hey, this is a big story. Go ahead and do it anyway. And once she does that, I'm talking about all kind of crazy stuff, because now she's in the middle of his life, and so now the camera's spotlighting on her. And so I want to show people, imagine if everybody's spotlighting on you, and you got the insane stuff that a lot of celebrities get. Would you be able to handle it? And so this book, All Access, is getting from the woman's perspective and the male perspective. So we got both of them. So the cover is a double cover like that, where we're talking about both the male and the female. And the book is a fabulous thriller based right here in Atlanta. So I wanted to kick it off in Atlanta.
Well, it's definitely one that I'll tell you it's a great turnout for you tonight. I just want to say congratulations to you.
Yeah, no problem.
You are definitely doing your thing. Can you tell everyone where they can get this from?
You can get it everywhere. You can order it on Amazon. You can get it from all your black bookstores. You can get it from me. www.omartyree.com and my website, or PayPal or regular credit card. So you can get it anywhere. It's a regular book. I have regular distribution. I've been selling books for 20 years, so it's not like I'm an unknown person, so it's everywhere. There you go. Doing the same. Congratulations. Omar Tyree. So I have a few questions for you, sir. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel about society using the N-word?
Wow. Well, people want to use it all the time. I'm from Philadelphia, so we had other words that we use. We use cuz, we use fam, we use boy, we use homie, we use dude. So up north, when you go to New York, they use cat, they use playboy, in New Jersey, so they got all these different terms around the country, but sometimes, particularly when you're down south, they use it over and over and over again. So I had to tell some of my southern friends, look, I'm not going to do an N-word 18 times. I'll take 3 of them, but you're going to have to learn some of the words. So it just depends on where you're from, north or south, east or west, how your family uses it, and how much exposure you have to it. Because when I was around the N-word, it was negative. That N-word don't make no sense. That N-word crazy. Them N-words drive me. So when I heard it, it was always negative. So I never heard it in the way of, hey, what's up, my N-word? I didn't use it that way. I didn't hear it used that way with my family and peers. And so I didn't use it that way. And so it's one of those things where your environment and your family and culture will impact how you do it. Yeah.
So for the price of fame, question for you. For $10 million, are you willing to make the sex tape?
For $10 million.
For $10 million.
Now that big number makes a lot of people stop and pause. Okay. But I have a vehicle with my books and now films where, I'm going to try to make my own $10 million. I'm cool if I make 2 or 3. So I'm to that age now where I don't need to have $10 million. 2 or 3 million, I'm good. Because I'm up in age and I understand the value of life and the value of money. And so now I'm cool. But somebody else, $10 million, they'll make them waver, And that's what happens. They figure that they can become successful, and that $10 million is down the road if they do certain things. But that may not necessarily be the case, So it's on you, How much you will? That's a good question for everybody, and that's why we're asking all these questions at All Access. What is your favorite reality TV show? I don't really watch that shows like that. I'm an athlete, so I watch sports. That's my reality show. But I understand which reality shows are out there. But I don't watch them like that. To be honest with you. But I wrote a book because I'm fascinated, and so many other people are fascinated by it. And so that's what I do. It's part of the culture right now. So I wanted to write a book. And some individuals are like, well, how are you going to write a book about something that you're not involved in? We all know what reality shows are. I've always been to the barbershop where I can see what they're about, hear people talking about it. I know what they are. So it's not like I'm totally in the dark. And when you're talking about watching them, I like watching sports. That's my reality show. I don't know what's going to happen with the sports thing, and I'm still, a school athlete myself. I love that. And so that's my reality show.
Okay, so I know that you said you're not really, more into sports and everything like that, but are you willing to put your own personal life in front of everyone?
You know what? In 2006, I had a book that came out, which was my most sexual book. It was called What They Want. And I was responding to the community of wanting sex and sex and sex. I have a good friend, Zane, who's here tonight, who opened up this sexual revolution with books. And so with Zane, it was always that pushing that level of the sexuality. And so a lot of the publishing houses wanted you to jazz it up in that way. And so I wrote a book called What They Want, which was a tantrum, because I was saying that's what the people want. That's not really what I want to write. And so I wrote that book, and in that, the marketing, I started saying things, out the way, started getting a little personal, and I didn't like the downfall, how it impacted my household and how people viewed it, and then they play that stuff over and over again. Omar said this, Omar said, and I was like, And so I learned from that in 2006, I will never do it again. And so sometimes you get into that when you're trying to figure out how can I get attention, and so you'll throw a little bone, you'll throw a whole horse, you'll throw a cow, because you're trying to figure out what do I need to do to get more people to follow me, more people to know who I am. And so a lot of people challenge themselves in that way. I did it in 2006, but it's 2015 now, and I'm not going there. That's why I'm writing the book, so I can talk about it, but I'm not going there anymore. Yeah.
So how do you feel about, we are here in Atlanta, and there's a lot of people who I guess we could say are fake flossers. Like, the money, they have the jewelry. Like, how do you feel about those people?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I could have bought a suit today, because this is an old suit, I'm going to do it. So I need sponsors right now. Omar needs a sponsor for styling, on a national level. I'm going to be in front of people all the time doing this all over the country. And so I would love to floss out a little bit more. But in my real life, if I don't have it, I don't have it. I got a Jaguar that's in my garage for the last 6 years because I blew out the engine. And right now, it's not really important for me to fix it yet. I got some other things I want to do. I got 2 sons going to college. And so you look at that and say, is it important for me to floss right now, or do I have some other issues I want to deal with? And so I would love to floss, no doubt about it, but am I going to give up something else to do that? And so a lot of people, they say, well, you got to fake it till you make it. Well, I'm going to make it without faking it. And so it depends on who you are and what you need. And so I don't need to do that, but I do need a stylist. And so everybody, Omar Tyree wants a stylist, wants sponsorship money, deal with me, talk to me, OmarTyree.com. So that's all day. But I'm not going to go out of my way to do something that I don't have. Yeah.
Okay, so how about you? So now there's a lot of women, they're on social media, they're flaunting their bodies, they're doing things, they're twerking, and all kinds of things. How do you feel about that? Especially, do you think they're doing it for the likes or like right? How do you feel?
Well, I've got a tour I'm going to do after this whole, all access tour. I got a college tour I want to do for February, Black History Month. It's called Where Are We Now? Stereotypes and Dysfunction. Are we hurting ourselves? And so when you do a lot of that and you show that impact of the sexuality or the thug or the pimp, and then you have a problem with the police officers or a boy treating you in a certain way, and you say, that's not me. But if you showed me that, then that's all I'm going by, what you're showing me. And so individuals have to understand, I really want to get to the colleges because they're getting caught up in it too, and that's supposed to be the next generation of educated professionals from our community. And so if they get wrapped up into showing something that is not a good impact image for us, then they have to be called back into place. Hey, don't do that, because now you're going to have to rectify that when you step out into the real world. And now you can't, double code it and say, well, I don't want you to treat me that way when you're showing them that face. So it's on you, man. You got to think more. That's why I want to have that tour. It's called, again, Where Are We Now? stereotypes and dysfunction. So I'm coming right off of All Access and going right into that. And yeah, I got a lot of things to say, man. I'm just blessed to be able to do it.
All right, tell everyone the hashtag today.
The hashtag All Access, the price of fame. We're going to be blowing it up my whole tour, the whole fall. We want to do it. Answer all these questions yourself. We're going to hashtag all the questions at All Access, the price of fame. We're going to hashtag everything. And this video, all the video clips, putting everything out there so individuals can really think about it.
So there you have it. And he said it himself. All Access, the price of fame. Omar Tyree. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we also want to thank 925 Atlanta for having us. We appreciate you. Make sure you go check out the book here, All Access. Mr. Omar Tyree, he is doing his thing. So many people came out, and once again, I'm your girl, Don Half Kitty.